I mostly listen to R&B and hip hop.
I usually listen to all types of music, but mostly rap.
I listen to both Korean and American music.
I've heard of J-pop, so I'm assuming K-pop is Korean pop. I haven't really heard of it, only probably due because I don't have a lot of Korean friends, but though one or two Korean friends that I do have, they did listen to K-pop, and it's very similar to J-pop from my unexperienced ears, but that's the only exposure that I've been given to K-pop.
It's about like romance, but it's not very romantic. Like it's not very serious.
I've heard some K-pop songs in passing, but no, I don't have any K-pop songs on my iPod, nor do I listen to it on the internet or what have you. I don't follow it.
It's very bubbly and it's a very good mood lifter, I feel like.
In K-pop, I think the visuals are a lot more attractive. It's flashy or it's more well put.
Right now, I think the trend in K-pop is the vibrant colors and like really upbeat, bubbly music.
Music is a very big industry in Korea. It's like a lot of, like maniacs.
But the theme is always love, I feel.
Well, yeah, it is love, but if I think of like 21, it's just like, I mean, they had a song about lollipops. It's like really like random.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's an escape. Like I don't listen to the same things I listened to back then. Like now I'm more into the underground artists that aren't really mainstream because Korea is so small. Like the mainstream artists are pretty much all idols, and idol music's just so manufactured and so factory style. It's just not really, there's no really emotion or truth behind it.
In comparison to American music, it's not so like lovey-dovey.
Yeah.
It's not very like.
It's not very. There's not a lot of like emotional music, I feel.
I don't really identify with mainstream K-pop, because they don't really talk about things that I'm interested in, and like when I read translations for lyrics and stuff like that.
I was talking about it was fake and plastic because it's like they're kind of breeding pop stars, or I don't know. It's like
That's true.
I would say these days, like a lot of rap, underground, like Korean, like music are starting to become more similar to like American music.
Yes, Big Bang is back. Most definitely incredible. Hey Moon, beat to the up to the down, down. Beat to the up to the down, down. Beat to the up to the down, down. Oh loud.
I think the hip hop is on the rise right now, and I guess that's what I'm liking.
It's kind of the same way it happened here. No one really took it seriously, and it was kind of like a niche. And now, it's sort of they've taken hip hop, made it pop, and it's influenced like the rest of the Korean. Like now in every song there's a rap, and it's not because we're gonna rap. It's because hip hop, came to Korea and it kind of proliferated throughout.
The lyrics are important because a lot of Koreans like listen to the lyrics and not just like the beat. The beat's important too, obviously, because it has to be catchy. So it's just like a good mix of everything, really.
The style of K-pop that appeals to me the most now, like before it used to be just anything that was flash. It's like like someone looking at the bright colors, but now it's mostly just like I like authenticity and just sincerity, like because a lot of K-pop isn't really sincere. So I look for artists who really who like write their own music, or who go with a concept that's actually true to who they are, because like concepts are what drive K-pop pretty much. So like, okay, this year your concept is like cute, and this year your concept is sexy, and it's just like it's not truthful to like how a person really is. But like I know there's a rapper that I like a lot. His name's Outsider, and his lyrics are really great, and like I like his beats, and I like his entire image because it's like him.
상처를 치료해줘 사람 어디 갔나 가만히 놔두다가 끊임없이 닿나 사람도 너무나도 겁나 혼자인 게 무서워 난 이 초딩과 두려워 상처를 치료해줘 사람 어디 갔나 가만히 놔두다가 끊임없이 닿나 사람도 너무나도 겁나 혼자인 게 무서워 난 이 초딩과 두려워 대답해 우리 맘의 문을 닫고 슬픔을 등에지고 살아가는 박보 두 눈을 감고 종이를 맞고 캄캄한 어둠 속에 내 자신을
Usually the most popular artists are the worst, like almost as a rule. And then as you kind of go down, you know, you see like people who have like a lot of real talent, like off on the fringe.
When I think of K-pop, I think of 소녀시대. They're very submissive. I think that's the word.
They're all just like
cutesy.
they're more visual. They're more pretty. They're just like skinny, pretty. And I guess the reason I like 21.
They're like Barbie dolls.
yeah, they're totally Barbie dolls on stage, just like.
K-pop fans are a lot crazier just because of the way companies will like kind of breed this sort of loyal, like obsessed fan just so they can make more money. That's different because, you know, smaller country, you know, in America, there's 300 million people who can potentially buy your album, and even more because America's like, you know, their pop culture is proliferating all over the world.
I think it's a little extreme. Their styles right now.
Yeah,
but
they definitely got very feminine, and I don't like that either.
yeah, actually, Korea right now, like it's a fad. They're all really skinny, and even the men are like, I think they're skinnier than me.
Guys are always cross-dressing, and part of it I feel like is sort of breaking away from the traditional culture. But I mean, I don't really know. Like,
A lot of the guys do tend to view that as like a role model to follow.
Yeah, and Korea is very homogenous, and so like whatever the trend is, everybody follows it. Everybody wears the same things, the same style clothes. It's just expected of them, I feel. A lot of Korean Americans are becoming more Americanized. I have Korean American friends who aren't Korean at all. Like I can name a lot of kids like that at NYU even. And so I don't think they particularly listen to K-pop.
A lot of it has to do with taste and language barrier. I don't understand it. But then again, music is also universal language sometimes. I don't think language necessarily has to be a barrier. I think it's just my demographic.
I feel like their parents didn't really, force it upon them to learn the Korean language.
Where it stands in Asian Americans, I think it's, I don't know, but at the same time, like a lot of people, like a lot of non-Koreans or Asians listen to it too.
I don't think listening to K-pop is so much gonna help anyone, but I think its presence and the fact that people who aren't Asian American are listening to it, I think that's more important than Asian Americans themselves listening to it, because it changes other people's perceptions. So
Because of the hyphenate American identity that you have, I think that, and it's hard to escape American culture. So I think ultimately American culture, American pop culture will often overrule any other kind of foreign kind of taste.
pop culture is just so, it's in a way it's sort of replaceable, which sounds really bad.
It's hard to find an original voice in the world when you have a commercial giant like America continuously exporting and creating material.
It might not be as appealing at the moment, but yeah, there's certainly a possibility, I feel.
Because Korean Americans, first, second generation, are just so much more Americanized, and it's hard for a lot of Americans to get into K-pop because it's just so different. It's so much more 90s in a way. It's like a lot more saccharine and like poppy, and we're kind of phasing out of that here, I think. Even though Justin Bieber might be bringing back the pop, but
It's about how a person is raised and what they're exposed to as they're growing up. For example, I'm first generation, but I don't have any sense of any kind of popular music from where my parents are from. My parents are from Burma, and that's a third world country in its own, and I don't know anything about its pop culture, if it even has a pop culture, if it has any kind of pop music.
I'm first generation American, but my family is from Jamaica. But like I don't really listen to reggae music. I have no real, and not because I don't want to, it's just because I mean, I've been exposed to it, but it's just not something that I'm, it's not something I gravitate towards.
I think that's the thing about hyphenate Americans and minorities in America in general. It depends on where you end up ultimately geographically in America and how you're raised.
GD. Yo, Charles, drop it on me. Yeah. 밤은 깊었는데 잠은 안 오고 늘어난 두통과 싸우고 이리저리 뒤척이다 생각에 잠겨 또 펜은 붙잡고 백업에서 내려가는 가사 이 안에 내 철학이 가득하다 부연 담배 연기 꽉 찬 내 방 Home sweet home 하나 가다 세상 나에게 왔어 쉴 틈 없이 달려왔어 넌 모르는 자신감 내겐 가장 큰 무기였어 오르막길이라면 내리막길도 있는 법 돌아가기엔 너무 늦어버렸어